Well, thanks for sticking with us this morning. Joining me live in the studio is the U.S. Representative for Texas District 11 and Chairman on the House Agricultural Committee, Mike Conaway.
Good morning. Good to be here. Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks so much for being here
My
this
pleasure.
morning and for waking up so early.
Oh, that's right. It's work day.
All right. Well, it's still pending the president's signature, but I wanted to talk about the Farm Bill and how it would impact our local community out here if it were passed.
Well, it has passed. Both the House and the Senate, so it's simply awaiting president's signature, which we expect Thursday, Friday-ish to get that done this week. And so we'll expect him to pass. What it does, in the main, it gives farmers and ranchers across this country 5 years of security as to what the safety net looks like.
Right.
It's really the emphasis for me was on the rural America portion of it, rural development, and the farm safety net. So that 5 years of security, of understanding what the safety net will look like and what it won't look like, it was really important to get this thing done and get it done on time. We've made some modest improvements to SNAP on the program integrity side. We get the governor involved in the waiver process. We also set up databases so that we'll be able to compare state data to prevent people from double dipping in more than one state at a time. But the real emphasis was on farm safety net and rural America, and putting that safety net in place for 5 years.
Right. Okay. And you did mention SNAP. I'm curious to know if this bill would impact nutrition in schools.
It does not, because we have the school lunch program is a part of is not under the Farm Bill.
Okay,
so different.
Perfect. I know some people were talking about that issue a little bit.
Well, we are moving. The reason I'm hesitating is that we've got a couple programs that try to improve the amount of milk that is consumed.
Right.
And so it will affect the amount of milk that children drink, we hope, but there will be another effort to have the milk that they do drink in school to actually taste better and taste good.
Awesome.
And will be for the kids.
You can't complain about good tasting milk,
That's
honestly.
Right.
Well, there were some compromises that you had to make as far as, making sure everyone was on the same page and making sure that this was able to pass in the House and Senate before reaching the president's desk. So what are some of those things that you had to do?
Well, the House version that we passed back in June had some really improvements to the work program within SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, food stamps, to strengthen the work requirements, to make sure that folks that were able-bodied adults without dependents who wanted public assistance could also prove to us they wanted to help themselves as much as we were willing to help them. My Senate colleagues did not believe that was necessary to do. They felt like that the president could make those changes on his own through a rule change, and we'll see that announced hopefully this week as well. But that was the big issue with the SNAP. It was to give up on some of the things that the House version had done. We increased the age from 49 to 59 for able-bodied adults without dependents for work requirements. But we do get program integrity. On the Farm Bill side itself, the traditional income support programs, conservation programs, rural development programs, we got a variety of good things going on there. Improve this Title I, which is the income support programs, a reference price. The folks who are listening back home and understand that it's code to everybody else, but the folks who are directly involved will understand the impact that the reference price is. We also, loan rates were increased a little bit. Improved Title I. On the conservation program, increased the number of acres available for the Conservation Reserve Program. We narrowed the conservation's, the CSP program to shrink the amount of money spent there. And increase the amount of money spent on EQIP, which is a partnership between the producer and the government to do conservation activities on farmland and ranch land that would have long-time impacts, and is a program that is really well accepted. And then in rural development, we worked on broadband, worked on opioid crisis through allowing community health centers to focus better on opioids. On the broadband, the FCC and USDA both have broadband programs going. We're going to make them deconflict those programs so they don't overlap and build in the same place at the same time. And so some good improvements there, as well as spending more money on those programs. Right.
And I know that every 5 or 6 years, the Farm Bill is kind of reconsidered. There's a couple of aspects that could change or could be considered for revamping, and hemp was actually one of them, where it's been reclassified. And so how do you think that will affect farmers long term?
Well, the folks from Kentucky believe it's a big deal. Mitch McConnell, this was his signature piece within the Farm Bill. He wanted to take care of hemp, and we've done that now. I've got some constituents here in District 11 that want to start growing industrial hemp, not marijuana, not cannabis.
Yeah, there's a separation
There's
there.
a big deal, big separation. And so we'll see for those farmers, if it really does have the kind of impact that they do, but it'll be up to them to exploit that. But this bill lasts until 2023. Once the President signs it, it will run through September 30th of 2023, and so the entire system will know, right, wrong, or indifferent, what the safety net looks like over that time frame. So that's a big deal for farmers and producers. It's a big deal for bankers and creditors to be able to understand what these systems look like in order to keep our farmers and ranchers in this fight year in and year out.